online. And if Abel would like to introduce our guests or hosts.
Yeah. Welcome to the Mechanics Institute, this week's edition of the Tuesday Night Online. I'm Abel Talamantes, the chess director for the Mechanics Institute, and with us is Dr. Judith Stare, and we have our broadcast crew of FIDE Master Paul Whitehead and FIDE Master Jim Mead. Welcome, everyone.
I am not seeing our Twitch broadcast.
Okay, well, I just got the notification, so we should be online.
So we're on. It's a new week. We got about 9 minutes, just under 9 minutes before the Tuesday Night Online starts. We currently have 28 players, but as we know, we get a whole slew of players kind of joining in at the last minute. Jason RBT is registered, ready to defend his title. That's International Master Ross Sodikov.
Wow!
Who
nice.
won it outright last week, but should have had a perfect score. But
that was that the Tuesday night tournament?
Yeah, that was the Tuesday night, and okay. in devastating fashion, Abhinav Panagalapati pulled out a miracle draw in a lost endgame, and
undefeated.
Yeah, and so this tournament is wide open. There's a lot of scholastic kids, strong kids, Omya, Rohan Rajaram, Sricharan, Nitish Nathan. And then we got the mechanics regulars. I see Glenn Kaplan and Jonah Bush, Christian Clemens. So it'll be a fight tonight. But right now, Jason RBT is kind of the clear-away favorite, I would say. But
any other masters?
Not at the moment, but the masters are the ones that join in the last 3 minutes. So we'll.
But Omya is a master, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Women's Canadian master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting for us. We got Judith and I recorded a podcast with Dan Lucas from US Chess last week, so that went up today. So those of you that haven't seen it, check it out. You can go to the uschess.org, and it's there. Our Facebook, we tried blasting it. Hear us talk about the Mechanics Institute, but if you've been at the Mechanics Institute, I think pretty much everything we said, you've heard it from us. So, but that was cool to kind of get that shout out. So what do you guys think about tonight?
Well, I have a significant lag, it looks like, maybe almost close to 10 seconds.
I'm looking under delay until repeat and key repeat. I'm not sure if this is the word. I got a little little flash message that said I could help with lag by lowering my standards.
Lowering your standards?
I'm trying to figure that out.
You shouldn't lower your standards. Never.
Always keep them high. Elliot Winslow just registered.
Oh, great.
Although his rating is ridiculous here. It's 1756 because it's the
Let's
rapid
make
rate.
fun of him.
I'm doing that right now. So, Nathan Fong just joined. So now we're getting our players that all scramble in the last few minutes and kind of make that grand entrance.
Well, who else? Okay, I see. Ninja Patrick. Ninja Trick.
It's like Patrick Wolf. Ninja Patrick.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Ross because he's not sitting on his laurels. So I admire that.
And I wonder if they would both play simultaneously. And his wife is a woman FIDE master, Natalia Sodikova, who's kind of like a mechanics legend now, as much for her commentary as for her chess. She's a very popular commentator for us. 5 minutes left. We got about 40 players, which is pretty good. We got a lot of players kind of like jump in the last few minutes.
Zaya.
Not yet. I do not see him.
I think he's actually quite busy with studies nowadays. He's been playing a lot less in the past few weeks.
Okay.
And Judith follows kind of like the streaming and the social media. So Michael Walder just jumped in.
Does anyone know what low latency toggle is? It says use the low latency toggle under the advanced menu in settings to
Is that for the Zoom?
That's for the lag. Yeah, for the Twitch, I mean, because Paul and I have been experiencing lag. Like you guys see what's going on before we do by 7 seconds, we kind of figured.
Yeah.
I don't. I think only Judith would.
Yeah. It says, is video buffering? Use the low latency toggle under the advanced menu in settings to disable.
I don't know if you want to try just clicking out and then going back in.
Well, no, it's okay for me right now, but there is that lag, and sometimes
I'm
the
trying
lag
to adjust that.
We're gonna have a lag regardless.
okay.
The lag is there. I think the lag is there for the players to take their moves back before we can really
criticize them. FIDE Master Jason Liang registered, so he's in.
Excellent.
So that there's parity at the top, at least with 2 players. And Lauren Goodkind has joined, and she will be recording herself and then put it up on YouTube, and that'll be exciting. We're all Lauren Goodkind fans. Lauren's a member of Jim Eads' board at the Eid Foundation.
EidFoundation.org.
So we got less than 3 minutes left here. 46 players, which is really good. I think we're on par with what we'll usually end up getting. I think last week we had 67, I think, in total. Because we also have some players that jump in late, and they'll play from round 2 and 3. And so in 2 weeks on Saturday, we have, it's kind of exciting for us. We have a Scholastic tournament, the San Francisco Scholastic Championship that we usually hold in Golden Gate Park. Last year we had about 250 players. We're doing it online, and we're really excited about it. It's Saturday, February 23rd. I think we got about 135 registered already.
I think we crossed 140 today. So
140.
Every day we get like 5-10 kids. So I mean, it's my wildest dream to have 200 kids online.
Yeah.
Right. I think
That's
when we
amazing.
first
if Judith wants it,
if
Judith wants it, I think she's going to get it. So
Yeah, that's a terrific tournament.
If history is any judge.
and the really cool thing is they're going to be playing, mostly on Chess Kid for like what would be the lower sections, but like our top section with like some strong kids, they're going to play on the chess.com platform for the kind of the championship part of it. And we're giving trophies for these, although they're going to have to collect the trophies after the shelter in place is done. But everyone who wins a trophy place will receive a trophy. So we're really excited about this event, Saturday, February 23rd, and we'll be promoting it on our social media channels. And I think
And providing some commentary.
We'll be doing that. We're going to do a live commentary with FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, who probably doesn't know yet that that's coming up. Hopefully he's available.
And the other thing that we are trying to do is trying to get some other celebrities, chess and otherwise, to tune in for 5-10 minutes. It's a 2-hour broadcast, 2.5-hour broadcast. And obviously it's really fun to cover the kids' games. But we are trying to make that 2-hour be a little bit entertainment as well, and ask a few other chess celebrities to come on board, come on Zoom, join us, and comment a few things about Scholastic Chess. So everyone, the link is on the chat. So if you guys want to spread that link, and
Eric Lee registered, so he is playing, and the tournament has started.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's start.
We have a fun matchup on board 1. That is Eric Lee against Sauce Hakobian.
Wow, Sauce is playing.
And then
anything is possible.
And you guys have to forgive me. I do need to set up the board. And it seems my browser is a tiny bit slower. but give me just 1 second and I will arrange this for you guys. So, Abel, can you remind our viewers again, when is that Scholastic Championship?
So the San Francisco Scholastic Championship is Saturday, February 23rd. It's open to all Scholastic players, basically high school and under. The link is there, but it's also on our website, the Chess Club, Mechanics Chess Club website, chessclub.org. And you'll receive all that information. And we'll be continuing to send information and updates for people that have kids that love chess. And we have sections for all levels. So if you have a child who's 1800, 2000, they can play for the San Francisco Championship, and we're going to have other strong players in that section too. So don't let the fact that it's a Scholastic tournament fool you. We do expect to have some strong players ready to go.
How about Carlsen? Is he going to try to sneak in under a separate, identity or something just to play in that prestigious tournament?
Well, I don't know. He is playing online. He's actually playing a tournament in a few days, and on another online tournament, except with other
He
top
played Daniel
grandmasters.
casually the other night. Like I was surprised Daniel was streaming and.
Yeah, he's playing a lot of chess. It's great. It's wonderful.
Anyway,
all right. Hit the game here, Jim.
Okay.
So it's board 2 actually.
This is more your style, Paul.
We have board 2. Black is Natalia's husband. Yes, Ross. And white is Junie Cole, which I don't really know who that is, but let me see if we have.
I feel like I have a suspicion that it's a Colty player, a Colty Chess Club player.
Yeah,
I don't know
Julian
why I think
Colville. So
doesn't ring a bell. But,
he's actually not from California, he says. So he's a guest player. So
welcome to Mechanics.
So we have strong IM playing on Black here, but maybe Black could have thought about playing E6 instead of E5.
I was expecting that, to be honest with you, Paul. And
this is murky waters here.
Well, murky is not bad.
Yeah.
But white is expanding on the queen side, so A6 looked like it was a feint of some sort, not really a threat.
I think H3 is a waste of time. I'm not really sure why white plays. I guess on H6 he wants to play bishop back to E3.
Well, yeah, but he may go to H4. If he played H3, he's probably thinking of saving that bishop. But no, he went back to E3. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm not entirely sure what Black's
going to play knight H5 and knight F4, or knight H5 and F5. Here he comes.
That's what he was looking to do all along, right? To
play G5 and knight F4.
Yeah.
Plan.
It's a typical, King's Indian-ish kind of position.
But I'm
just having serious lag now.
A possibility that F5 threatening F4 might be a possibility here. But it runs counter to the take over F4 square with a knight. So I'm not sure. I'm struggling to understand Black's plan.
Well,
I'm sure
maybe F5 threatens pawn
F5. That's what I was thinking.
It does threaten pawn F4.
It absolutely is forcing.
Wow, G5.
Now G5 is consistent with the idea of placing the knight on F4, but the follow-up is not clear to me.
Well, he plays G5. I guess F5 looked like a serious alternative to me.
It did to me as well.
And now it seems like white can't do something like F4.
Well, white doesn't want to play F4, I don't think. I think white wants to break through on the queen side here and hold Black on the king side.
But
I think in this position, white doesn't. White is playing a very bad plan here, blocking it up.
I agree. That was
Where-
not the way to break it open on the queen side.
Now everything is coming on all the play will be on the king side, and
That's what black is set up for. So
Do you think there might be a common thing with like 15, 16, 1700 players when they're playing a stronger player, they think by locking it up, it sort of creates more balance when in fact,
yeah,
it may not?
For sure. Weaker players are very fond of blocking the position, and they think that it's avoiding trouble. That's the thinking behind it. It's very common, and
Now
it
that's
often is
that
inviting more
recapture.
trouble.
That's a very good recapture. It frees the knight to come to e5.
Whoa, we've got
I'm not sure what white's trying to do.
G3 there.
Also, we're seeing, you just
He just ignores
so
it.
black is much better here in all kinds of ways. 95 is a natural, powerful move here.
Right. Now black's bishops are pointing at white's king. That always
Yeah.
makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
white's trying to make it now. There's only one file to open after G4. It'll be the H file. But he doesn't play it. He doesn't play G4.
I would have played G4.
And
Yeah, I mean, it's getting harder and harder for black to open up the game if white plays G4.
it seems like white's minor pieces are completely defensively postured right now.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
pretty
And the
bad.
white squared bishop is useless. It's a big pawn. Unless he plays bishop e2 and tries to get it in that way. But the knight is coming back to the defense of the king side, which is a good idea. I am still not seeing the break yet.
Nice advantage for black, but we could
Eric Lee's
look
game.
at another game.
Yeah,
Okay.
shall we?
Sure.
Queen D7. Yeah.
This is Eric Lee's game.
I'm still trying to
Hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah, actually the lag is not so bad now, I think.
No, it's better. It is
Yeah,
better.
so hopefully I tweaked it the right way. Look at Paul
Tweety,
drinking.
Tweety Bird.
So Eric is playing white here against, is it Sos Hakobian? I haven't seen him play a lot, so I'm very happy to see that. Hey guys. What happened with my Zoom? Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay, I can't hear you guys now. Okay, now he's back.
Well, that
By playing
takes it
bishop
away. So
B5.
now I don't like black's position even more.
Yeah, there you go again, trying to block the position up, but making your bishop at D7 even worse.
Yeah.
Bishop b5 was indicated to me. And
Still too early to call. I mean, black has some,
yeah, well, that's a
black
good
is
square
worse
for it.
here.
Certainly a good square.
And now the white knight is going to try to get to E5 here.
Which isn't easy to do.
Yeah, it's gonna have to dance around a lot to get the.
Yeah, it's still complicated. Yeah, good for Stos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ross Sodikov just won the exchange in his game.
Yeah.
So
Just FYI, I had a little bit of internet issue, so I don't know if you guys realized while you were talking, we had like a couple of seconds of. I was only the one talking on Zoom.
All right.
oh no,
Hopefully it's fine now.
everything was good. I think.
Well, I'm sure that the audience was not confused at all.
I'm sure they were because I was confused and I was telling them I can't really comment on these games. Anyway, do you guys want to look at other games or should we go back?
Go back to the Sodikov game.
Okay, sounds good. So Sodakov is with black here with 5 minutes.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. There we go. Okay.
How
So
many people are in the tournament now?
black has made progress.
It's close to 60,
56.
56.
H takes G here. or H5.
White's trying to play bishop f5,
Oh.
but yeah, h3 nips it in the bud. Maybe White will play e6 or something.
Or that.
But
H4.
also, Black can win a piece by
That's
playing
a piece.
h4. There you go.
But what's the threat?
It threatens to win the knight. It just wins the knight, and Black is going to be a piece up.
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying. I thought
Yeah.
you were saying something else. Okay.
Yeah, so White's just thrashing around here. That's one of my favorite expressions.
Yeah, because
Yes.
there's nothing there.
This is
Like
busted.
the movie Jurassic Park.
Actually, I've never seen it.
Rohan Rajaram won his game against
Well, that was quick then.
Yep.
and that game is over against Kalen Melville. So Kalen Melville lost to Rohan.
Well, there I was, bewildered by Black's strategy, and it all worked out.
Well, there's probably a lot of strategies that would have been effective there.
I think you're right, probably.
So we're
Okay.
looking at Omiya's gain here.
Against Brazen Bishop.
Brazen Bishop.
And I know Brazen Bishop. I just got to find.
So Black's trying to castle.
If he does
That's
castle,
my genius commentary.
if he does castle, he's better. I would think.
That's John Harris, Brazen Bishop.
Being a pawn up, yes.
And you know who just joined the club to play in events was
Chris.
Hmm?
Who? Chris?
Who?
You got us all a tingle with excitement.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to wait.
Old, what's his name?
Yeah, old what's his name?
I love him.
We'll never forget old what's his name.
Okay, guys, this is live commentary for you guys, right?
Yeah.
We just talk about weather and,
Hey,
and
yeah.
players who have no names and everything.
Who knows what we're gonna talk about?
Yeah,
I
let
have
me
no
look it up. I actually have a mean to look it up because
Yeah.
members and
It's
the newest
slipping my
member.
mind. I'm
And
like,
Chris
oh wow.
Jensen.
Christian Jensen.
Christian
Oh,
Jensen.
great. We haven't
Yeah.
seen him in a while.
You see, just you have to use your brain, right?
Well, that's the problem then.
Uh,
That explains it.
Well,
Okay, but
I'm
I'm
not
glad
sure
I'm here.
foreheads are better than one.
It muddies the water.
You guys do
Making fun of my
the
forehead.
chess. You guys do the chess. I do
now
the
Bishop H6
data and good.
wrong to me.
Okay, let's get back to chess. Let's get back to serious, right?
Hey, let's go to Eric Lee's game because
There
it's
it is. I think Black is doing more than just okay now. Now you can castle, right?
Yeah, Black's still a pawn up here. So
nope.
I-
Yep.
so Brazen Bishop is hanging in there against the higher rated Harker chess.
Yep. And Omiya is a fierceful fighter. Like she's not giving away points easy. So let's see.
Black is playing a pretty good game here, I would
I
say.
agree.
You know, so Black has the two bishops, two brazen bishops, and has a healthy pawn ahead. It's his
see
game to
nothing.
lose.
He and Chet will unite.
Hey, can we go to Eric Lee's game?
Yeah.
Take a peek in that.
There you go. So Eric is with white here.
Need your end game expertise.
You mean knight being a knight up is not enough for white?
Yeah,
here?
actually,
I don't think it's an endgame.
he just hung a piece because it was even.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
See that.
Something happened here.
I think white's gonna win this.
There's nothing special here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he just have to push the clock.
Sacrifice and crush is getting sacrificed and crushed.
Yeah.
This game is completely over.
Yeah, he it was a tactic. Actually, if you rewind, you'll see it.
Let's rewind. Which move?
Keep going back.
Which move?
It's right at move 39.
39. Okay, so I'm going back till 37.
Yeah, right here. So
Oh, sorry, I have to go back. I'm a little bit slow. Okay, so this is move 39,
Not
I
yet.
think, right?
Oh, we haven't lost the. There we go.
Well, yeah.
well,
so
yeah,
here,
well, play it out. Play it out. You'll see it.
Queen
so this is-
C7 and rook takes C6.
Correct.
39.
That's
Oh,
correct.
actually, Queen C7 and knight E5 check.
Okay,
Either one-
so
either one
queen.
works.
Well, you can do it either way, right?
Either
Yeah.
way,
And he took the bishop.
I'd take the bishop just because I'd like to.
Yeah, the knight gets back to stop the pawn from A5. So that if black plays rook C6, knight E5 check, king F6,
Right,
knight
wins the rook.
C6, C3, knight A5, C2, and knight B3 is the saving grace there.
Am I anywhere close where you guys were talking? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
they just ran through it already.
Okay,
Yeah, it's-
sounds good.
So you could fast forward to the.
Yeah.
You can go to actually Nathan Fong's game and
Let's look at a
Clarence
different
Lehman.
game. This
Clarence
is a-
Lehman looks like he's ahead.
Yeah, and this is where it stands. Okay,
Why
and
is
this is
resigned,
completely
yes.
lost for black.
Okay, so Clarence is playing against Nathan here. Clarence is our regular, what about, he's about like 1800, 1900, right?
Yeah.
2000 rated over the board.
Yeah.
And he's playing
Downward
white here
forward.
against
Cool.
Nathan Fong, who's a UC Berkeley student.
This should be a draw, probably.
Yeah. So by rating, they're kind of the same, despite the difference of the chess.com rating. But yeah, this looks difficult to win.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
should be a draw, probably.
And I mean, for Clarence
so.
defense, he's a strong player. He's just very unlucky with his internet connection and everything. And oftentimes he has disconnect or he has bugs in the.
Dropping a pawn. No, knight H6 check.
The-
It's a little.
There was a game we did
Yeah.
we
Tetris.
didn't get a chance to check in. Was Elliot Winslow against Kevin Sun.
Oh, black
Oh.
just white.
What happened?
I'm gonna assume that Elliot won that game. and
Let's
I'm-
assume. Okay,
gonna
let's go
look.
back. We have to look, right?
He did
Okay.
win. He did win that
Okay.
game.
Elliot won.
Yeah.
Well, against Kevin Son, that's your student, Paul, right? Kevin is
Yeah,
your lowest student.
yeah.
So who do you
Yeah.
root for, Elliot or Kevin?
Kevin. But Elliot is my student as well.
Okay. So we have a few more games left.
Let's take a look at this one.
Yeah,
This is
but-
interesting.
Yeah. This is
Okay, so King G4,
I did not like that.
this looks like it's a win. King G6 maybe.
No,
oh no.
not there.
Yeah, King G6 was better
Anywhere
because
else
now
but there. Now you're
Yeah.
losing.
he should have
Yes.
played King G6
Yeah. Why? Oh my goodness.
instead of King
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, let's see.
Well, can this be?
This is a win now. Queen E7 check. Yeah, black is winning by allowing white to queen here. That's the only way to do it.
And then fall into like a mate trap, right?
Yeah, bring the king closer. The king is just close enough.
So will Nathan know that? Because he's trying to figure it out right now.
So
Is it
like queen
close enough?
E7, king G8, king G5, queen, king G6 wins.
Wait a minute. Say that again, Paul.
Queen E7,
Right.
king G8, king G5. Pawn makes a queen in the corner, king G6.
And there's like what, no checks, yeah.
There's no way out. So queen E7 wins here.
And he's trying to find that.
And he's actually offering
Yeah,
draws.
it's a standard position.
White is offering draw.
Yeah.
Nathan
that's bad
declined.
form.
Well, white may think that it's drawn, right,
Well,
with the
white
rook pawn.
It's a bad form.
Yep.
When you're down material, the other guy has all the winning chances. I
Oh,
just
black hasn't found the right idea yet.
Yeah, right. But Paul, that's outstanding. Even though it's a known theme, The idea of allowing him to queen, and there's no place to put the queen that saves him.
Yeah. Yeah. Black may still like here again, king g5,
That'll do
and
it.
if queen, king g6, and it's all over. He's still
Well-
not finding the right idea.
No, and queening into knight in order to check doesn't help.
But yeah,
This is very interesting.
Yes,
it's just
but
yeah. Well,
this is a well-known idea.
If you know it.
Yeah.
If you know it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
King g8, now king g5. He keeps
What? Oh,
missing
no.
king g5. He
This will
keeps
never
missing
work
it.
this way, buddy.
There's no way to win with just your queen. I mean, that should be
King
a clue.
F5.
A clue
He's
for
got to play king g5 or king f5.
all right, that wins as well. That wins as well.
So he queens and then
Yeah.
king g5?
No, if he queens, maybe queen e7 check.
But
No,
now
maybe it's
we're
not a
about-
win now. King h6, queen
Now-
h4, king g7. I think he
It's
blew
not
it.
a win anymore. King g5 was the only winning move, I think.
He's allowing, yeah. So if queen, well,
It's very
Well,
sad
white
to
ha-
play king
yeah.
f5. This will be a very good learning.
now he has to play, blunder, king h6, and another blunder.
Another blunder.
Black misses an easy win with
You get a
king
blunder and you get a blunder.
Black
wow.
misses an easy
Lordy.
win with king g6.
And now
All
it's for sure, right?
Yeah, this is just black. You can't get anywhere like this. This is now a draw. Now I don't think there's a way to win. King f7.
King f7.
He blunders, white blunders again. Queen e7 check now.
But
Well,
I
now
still
can you
don't-
go king g6?
Oh yeah, you can go king h6.
Now
you
king
play king-
g6.
Yeah,
Now
a
king
blunder.
g6. Please, please,
White blunders.
please,
White should have played
King
king
g6.
g6.
please, king g6.
Oh,
King g6 is a total win, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he missed it. Wow.
This is really too bad. Frank James Marshall, you need to go back to the school.
Actually, black
he
that
doesn't
played.
try.
It was black.
It
that
was
played.
Nathan. Nathan should.
Nathan, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Nathan's
that's
going.
right, Nathan.
So
Oh,
what?
no.
What? Help
Yeah,
Nathan.
that's right.
Check this out. Board 2 is Ross Sodikoff against Elliot Winslow.
Oh
what
my
a
god, so it's
pairing.
round 2 now? Okay, we missed round 1 and round 1, right?
And
That
that
was
was
the last round, I guess, right?
that was the last
What
game.
a
The last
pairing.
game, yeah. Sorry.
This is a great pairing.
There are great
Already.
pairings in this round. We have Nitish Nathan against Rohan Rajaram, which is two of the top Scholastic kids around. Sricharan Pulela, who's also a top kid playing Eric Lee.
Yeah.
Great
Wow.
second round pairings.
Yeah. So which one do you guys want to go first?
I want to watch this one.
Let's watch them all.
Yeah.
Well, I had to pull up so
Whoa.
that I can switch between them easy.
Whoa, look at that.
So I pulled it up and I settled to Ross and Elliot's game. Let me know if you guys want to change it, okay?
Yeah, we can check that out right there.
This is what I play as black against this system.
Close Sicilian.
Yeah,
Elliot
play
has a
knight.
lot of experience with the white
e7.
side, the black side,
Yeah.
the purple side, the green side.
You know, because of the ridiculous. So
see,
Dimple
I
Pitch in the
that.
chat says that endgame is in 100 endgames you should know by Jesus de la Villa.
Yeah. That's just one of those things, one of those
That's not
positions
fair.
that you don't want to have to play by feel. You want to just know it and have
And
it
you
down.
definitely don't want to play it on the Mechanics Institute broadcast.
Because they're gonna chew you alive, right?
That's true.
Because
Uh,
Paul will give you no mercy. All right, this
So-
seems playable, but
Okay, so do we want to peek into other game?
Well, let's just talk about this for a second here.
Okay.
This is, queen side versus king side attack here. And interesting that Elliott allows this exchange so easily, but he's a very thematic and classically minded player, and he'll play positions out that, like, I
Less
don't
than
know.
mortals. Less
Yeah, I'm
than
not
mortals.
sure I would have. White's attack looks a little bit better to me than, especially after the exchange of bishops.
Well, I did like white to start with, but the queen
I
side
think White's
expansion,
doing well here.
it didn't seem like you have
Yeah.
any targets on the queen side. So that expansion does not impress me as much as black's open lines against the king. I mean, white's open lines against black's king. So just off the
Yeah,
top of
I
my
mean,
head,
it's a game.
it's a game.
Yeah.
Want to check in Eric Lee?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. So Eric is with black right now.
Knight d5 is an interesting move. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't quite at the point where I could make a determination there. All
Well,
right.
black looks like he's doing fine here. He needs to catch up in development, that's for sure. But
Yeah, bishop d7 and castles, you got no weaknesses to speak of. I guess d6 might be a weakness.
Yeah, white needs to do something a little quickly here, but could fall into the worst position with.
And how would that go?
Well, just because white's bishop is not really as good as black's here, and black has some squares, obviously in the center, and on the queen side. Just a little more possibilities. There's more possibilities for black here, I think.
Well, I would say the counter argument is the pawn on e5 is cramping, giving white more space to develop on. So he has more maneuverability. And I didn't expect that, but doesn't mean it's bad.
No, I think black is strongly placed here. I do. I think it's a little deceptive.
Now, your comment about the white bishop being out of play, or the inferior piece to black's bishop, is really coming clearer.
And then there's all the light squares that the black pieces are jumping on: d5, d3, c4, b3, etc., etc.
He cannot maintain the knight on d3, can he? Maybe he can, but
just liking black's.
I'm
liking
did
the fact
lose
that black
against
has
Ross.
more
He
potential.
lost already?
Yeah, he lost already. Do you guys want to see the end game?
Wow.
Yeah, who lost?
Elliott resigned.
Yeah, that was.
Well, he's
I would have
playing
been
too
interested
fast.
to see how that went, but
Yeah. So
yeah, I see that.
this was 18, move 18.
Yeah, because queen.
And then
queen h6 is coming.
It's like
and then.
Well,
See,
also, the pawn at d4
There
is
you
lost. I think that whole knight d4 thing was just silly on black's part. He wasn't thinking here.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And then whatever black does, queen h6 is coming.
Yeah. He just fell down and died.
You couldn't put the queen there. Yeah. So to try to hold on, you had to move the bishop, but you were still inferior anyways.
And for the viewers at home, Paul does a terrific job of colorfully illustrating the devastation the players are experiencing on the board.
Well,
and when silly is called, it's over. If that's a silly move.
Yeah.
We have different types of descriptions for moves. We call them, sometimes if they're really bad, we call them howlers. I don't know if you've heard that term.
I've heard it.
Yes. That's howler.
I would say that game was the equivalent of Hagler Hearns for fight fans. Two giants. It looked like that could have been the championship match, and it was over in 3 rounds.
Well, Hearns got some blows in, though.
He did, and Hagler had to withstand him.
Yes. And I didn't see any of those Hegler.
That's true. We didn't see any bombs lobbed. But, I mean, and this is the thing, like, he made quick work of Elliott, but Elliott had a monster run in the Blitz Memorial, where he even defeated the winner, Steven Zert. So you never know what's going to happen.
Well, that's the old age and craftiness that Elliott brings to the table.
Yep.
Now, this position is interesting to me because as a French player, I've got my bishop out of the pawn chain, so I'm happy. But I am a pawn down. But I have more piece activity.
Yeah, I think White is gonna have trouble maintaining the extra pawn for sure.
I agree. And if that extra pawn goes, then Black is just better.
Yeah, but by that time, you'd think that White should be able to organize some kind of defensive position.
Oh, but you will be defensive. And
yeah,
maybe
or just organize his game here. So Black's targeting C3, and maybe there's a way to defend it, and maybe there isn't. I don't know. You can play knight D1, but that's a horrible move to play.
Yeah, if you're resorting to that, then
You never know, though. Sometimes you can just play moves like that and then play for F4, F5 or something like that. Maybe it'll work. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next game?
I think may God have
mercy. White's going to play C4.
You want to check in Lauren Goodkind?
Yeah.
She's playing Adam Mercado.
Nice. Okay, so Lauren is with Black here on the top. And Adam is with White here.
2, 4, 6, 7 to 2, 4, 6, 7. Pawns are even. Dude, I think we should pass that responsibility on to you.
That's something that probably Judith and I could do.
Yeah, your title should not be wasted on counting pawns.
And the analysis should be left to the pros.
Yeah. Black has a great game here.
Yes,
Black has just got a great game. The open lines for the rooks.
Yeah.
This is it's probably winning in some
the pawns advanced on the king side are meaningless, and they're just weakening because there is no attack that White is going to generate.
There's no pieces to support
he's trying.
Yes, he's got to try, but
this is not going anywhere. So this is much better for Black. Black is in almost a winning position. Probably able to organize D4 at some point and come crashing through. This is horrible for White.
This is bad.
And all this is doing is probably Black could just take and play Queen G5 and win the G6 pawn, or just lock it up and then go for D4. There's probably plenty of ways to play this.
I think there are. And, because Queen G5 threatens Bishop G4, and that would put a real hurt on the white squares around the king.
And there's just taking this pawn as well.
Which is perfectly fine.
So Lauren Goodkind chess is just taking a boy 4-1-5 to the cleaners right now.
Yes, I think cleaning has been called.
Yeah.
You want to check Eric Lee's game with Sricharan?
Yeah, let's go back to that game. I have that open. So Sricharan is with White against Eric Lee, who's a national master or FIDE master. He's with Black here.
Well, I kind of think that pawn might be a little overextended.
Yeah, I think we're seeing kind of the strategies, separate things coming into play here. And White has done pretty well, I think.
Well, he got knight d6 in, so that forced the exchange of the dark squared bishop, which was to White's advantage.
My thinking is that the experienced player, Black here, will find a way to scoop up the d6 pawn and then be a pawn ahead.
It looks overextended, but you have.
Black can play f6 and e5, then it's going to be trouble for White.
Yeah, because if I play knight e4 here to
Or
threaten
rook
that.
g6 even. Rook g6,
That's true.
f6, and e5.
Rook g6 might be a better way to approach that.
Oh, this is a strange idea here. I'm not sure about this f5 move.
I'm not likey.
It doesn't occur to me, but it looks possible, another way of playing it, but that's not, to my mind, not the thematic idea here.
Is black just trying to open up the G file?
Well, I mean, white doesn't have to take at f5.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that yeah, knight e4.
Yeah,
It's
94.
gotten complicated. I mean, it's.
But the knight can't move so the king moves. Okay.
Wait a minute. This king f1 might run into f takes g4, h g4, and rook f8, and then rook takes f3, followed by knight e5. So I think white
But the
may
knight
have.
f4 is hanging still. So
Yeah.
He took.
yeah, well, this is the way to play, but there is some complication to this.
Yeah, I see that. Well, king e2, knight f2, maybe.
Yes, I like that better. Knight f2.
And then white's got to try bishop g7.
Wow.
Yeah. No, king e2. Yeah.
And-
I think white's just going to find some way to lose this.
And white's under some time disparity also.
King g2, same thing though, right? King
Knight f2 here,
Knight f2.
maybe. Yep. Boom.
Yeah. Take and then take the bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then white's
you're
going to
winning.
lose a piece.
And do you have to take the knight?
Well, no.
rook.
I think white's going to want to move his rook, but then knight takes g4. Black found a way to win two
Just winning.
pawns.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is hopeless now. Not well considered move. That king f1 was a blunder.
And you spotted that.
Knight before king knight takes f2 was threatened.
That's my job.
That's why we have you here.
Yeah.
Once you got rook f8 in, knight takes f2 is going to be threatened.
Yeah,
And
rook f8 was winning. So
yeah,
it's the tactics again, the tactics that are separating the stronger players always, because the weaker players, they get good strategic ideas, but it's not held together with the glue of tactics.
I
And
know.
that's the problem.
It's awful.
Now, what if what if white does bishop g7 here? It doesn't do anything, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, then the rook moves to g8 or rook f7, or know. See, that's the other thing is that there's the moves that are threatening, but then it's what comes after that. You have to keep asking the question until the answer is kind of resolved. Until the answer is resolved. I mean, that's basically what I'm saying.
Now, can Sricharan resolve this with the little time that he has against?
Hopefully, he's down 3 pawns now. He's about to go down 3 pawns.
right. I don't see any salvation.
And now, actually, he's losing a piece because pawn g4. Yeah, pawn g4. This is just. He's gotten outplayed in every way here.
This is going to be a huge upset.
From bad to worse. Yeah. Now it's good night, Irene. And it's unfortunate because the position was not necessarily lost. I think black had a lot of more winning chances.
I think white could have maybe found a way to keep it mixed up after f5. He just f5 kind of created a threat that white was not up to seeing, and the threat was to
open the F file.
Open the F file. It was just a little beyond white's horizon,
Well said.
So, well played by Eric Lee.
Yeah, Eric Lee. And it could be that f5 was the right way to play that position.
You might be right. The f6 e5 idea seems like a long range superior way to play it. but F5 had tactical ramifications that, as you said, Black was not up to.
So this is a great Scholastic matchup for those that are knowledgeable of the Scholastic players in the Bay Area. Is Nitish Nathan against Rohan Rajaram. They're probably both around 1900, 2000 strength. And this is an even matchup on paper. So it's kind of exciting to see these types of matchups in our online events, because people would see this game at a tournament and people would be excited because it's, two of the strongest Scholastic players. So,
well, this is a complete triumph of Black strategy.
I agree.
In fact,
what was that?
Not only did he,
that was interesting. That was interesting.
Not only did Black win the C3 pawn, but he won the D4 pawn and the E5 pawn.
That's how the pawn chains fall, Paul.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, attack the base, the rest follow.
And Queen A7 is just a cheapo. That's not going to do. That's not going to.
Was that the answer, though?
I'm not sure Bishop H2 was right, but now Black can make Luft here.
Well, I think also you can play Rook B8.
Or just H6.
H6 is fine, yeah.
H5 or H6. I think, Black's being greedy there with Bishop H2, probably
with
good reason.
It's all right.
Let's notice that, let's notice White didn't even have a threat, because if Queen C7, Bishop C7, and then but H6 is a nice move. It's amazing how many pawns Black has won in the last 10 moves. It's just
he was hoping for Queen takes H7, and that was just a wild hope that really had nothing to do with the position.
Now, if I'm White, I don't want to leave my queen hanging.
It's like the pieces are so open and all over the board. You have to watch out.
Bishop to E5, and you've just won another pawn.
Or maybe Rook takes Rook F2, Knight G4. Okay, so White still has a few cheap. Even that wouldn't work, I don't think, because of Rook F4, and then you can take the bishop on C4. White's just fishing around hoping for a miracle.
Hoping for a miracle has been called.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing to argue with that.
But in rapid chess, anything can happen.
Well, that's a beautiful.
I don't think that was necessary.
It's a beautiful move in a way, because it defends the back rank, defends the rook, and defends the bishop. You can just see how powerful a queen is when a move like that is played.
True.
Amazing.
Often, and a retreat is powerful.
And this, if I was White, I would have done that in a heartbeat. It's the only move that gives him a chance.
Well, take Rook F2, right?
Well, then, Knight G4, then Rook C2. Somehow this is going to fail, of course. Actually, Rook F2, Knight G4, Bishop E4 check. Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
3 games left in the round.
Queen takes G3, looks good. Or Queen B7 is even stronger.
Ouch.
Yikes. Mate in 1, 2. Yeah.
Well done, Black.
Yeah.
Nice. And Lisa is still playing, even though he's chatting. He must be standing really good if he's chatting.
He does have more time than his opponent. He does have more time than his opponent.
Yeah, and Chessicle 75. I don't know if we have.
How can White?
Although this is quite a position here. I don't know.
Yeah, White's going to try to find a way to get mated.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, very scary.
He's
sure.
Troy Smith, and I don't know where is he joining us from, but Troy Smith.
I think White has this game, but it's still
I like King H6 and say, what do you got?
Queen E3 check or Queen D2.
Then I play Queen F4.
Yeah, that looks
that
pretty
is
strong.
It. That is it. Yeah.
But then Black can still move his queen. You're not threatening
I'm planning F6.
Yeah.
Rook takes, or rook covers. Because white's threatening mate of his own.
Rook F4. That,
Queen F6, right?
then, yeah. King G8. Well, Queen F8 mate. Queen takes F8. Oh, Queen takes F8.
Oh, Queen takes F8. That's right.
Yeah.
Is that
White
mate
doesn't have to be too fancy here. Queen F6 might not even do the trick after King G8.
It doesn't.
Yep. There you go. Nice job, Nathan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so round 3, everyone, out of this 5-round
That was a
tournament.
nice finish. Nice
Well done,
finish.
White.
How many people with perfect scores? Probably a lot.
I will tell you that, well, we have quite a few.
Quite a few.
I think 6. No, well, I don't
Okay.
even know. Yeah, 5. I think we have 5.
Eric Lee against Michael Walder on board 1.
Yes.
All right.
And then Rost is playing 8 Rosen, which I don't know who that is.
Anthony Rosenwasser.
Yes.
So
and
this is-
and we have a girls matchup.
Yeah.
Let's start with this one, Lauren
Sure.
and Amia, okay?
That's a good.
Okay.
Shout out to the girls.
Okay, sisterhood.
Yep.
Omia
Yeah, but they're playing this Slav defense thing.
Oh my God. How can they play this loud?
Is that bad?
Oh, it's not my style. Well, this is an interesting move. F5.
They disappointed Paul.
No. Actually, these are kind of more interesting positions. This is interesting.
Paul's trying to
strategy on
save it
Black's
now.
board.
He's trying to save it.
Okay, so do you guys
Struggle for
want to
E5.
switch?
I like this move, Bishop B5.
I do too. And Paul, will you teach Judith the Hungarian defense at some point?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
You
the
should.
Hungarian defense.
And the
That's still
Budapest
played
opening?
today.
The Budapest
Yeah,
Open.
there's the Budapest. I don't know the Budapest very well, or the
No one
Hungarian.
does.
Yeah,
But I know it exists, so
This-
right.
at least I know a little bit.
Isn't there just the Pest opening too?
No.
There's Pesti openings.
Well, this is an interesting game. I mean, it's still a game, and the
Well, that
struggles
was interesting. Now you're going to take that.
struggles for the center squares are going on here.
And white is occupied E5 like white wants. Now the bishop on C8 compared to the knight on E5. I mean, come on.
This is true.
Better minor piece ending. All endings are 1 for white. So,
Those pesky queens are on the board.
and unfortunately, there are many moves to be before the ending. Yes.
Right. Who said that before the end game, the gods have placed the middle game?
Tarrasch. Tarrasch, who is very German.
Tarrasch. So
I'll check on.
This game is still it's a long way from over. It's interesting.
But
still
Eric?
ongoing.
Eric and Walder.
Yeah, let's go up to board 1.
Yeah.
Sure. So Judith, should it actually be the Hungary, Austria instead of Austria-Hungary? It's always Austria-Hungary. But why isn't it a Hungarian-Austrian empire?
Let's not get started again.
That's probably because the leader, so the king or emperor was Austrian, right?
I got you.
And it was the Austrian who had invited the Hungarians in the empire. So
That's the way the history books are written.
yeah.
So
Well,
black. This is black is trying to vacate the D7. Looks to me like black's pieces are going backwards.
do you guys want me to flip the board? I just realized that.
That's
No?
fine.
Why would you force F3? That seemed like a useless maneuver.
Yeah, well, I think black is under some pressure here. He's probably lost already. Moves like queen b6 look, even queen b6 looks really strong. He's just getting,
Just restricted.
yeah.
And F3 just served to shore up E4. So
Yeah, but White allows this. I'm not, maybe White could have been a little more incisive here. Knight b6 would have forced rook a7. I mean, why not do that? I don't understand these 2,400 players chess anymore.
You don't understand it because they're above your level, or because?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't play chess the way we remember it.
Yeah, it's okay. White still is sitting on black badly. I mean, White has nothing to prove here. It's just black is many tempo behind in a standard position. It's surprising because these sharp Benoni positions are well studied by
look at that move.
by Michael Walzer, who's a strong player, but yet he finds himself in this awful situation. Yeah.
Well, oh.
Anyway, White's sitting on black, and let's look at board 2.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so board 2 is, well, I just clicking on the next game I have open. I don't know if it's actual board 2. Yes, it is. Jason, RBT, which is Rust, and
Rosenwasser.
Yeah, H. Rosen.
I counted pieces. So we have 2 pieces for a rook.
2 bishops.
Good point. Yeah. 2 bishops for a rook and pawn is usually a significant advantage.
But this is a rook and 2 pawns, but I still think black is doing nicely here. This is black. White's got a lot of weaknesses and points of attack and probing, and nothing really to go on himself. I don't see what White is going to try to attack, and I see that black has got the pawn at c2. The pawn at h3 is a little bit of a worry. Bishop h3 is always a possibility.
d8 and push the queen around.
Bishop on h7 is nicely tucked away over there, hiding.
Yeah. It's just an initiative. It's 2 bishops.
It's a very clear initiative for black, and it's with threat. He's developing with threat, which you always would like to do, and so you force White to make a defensive move, and instead of an aggressive move, and that gives you the chance. So that's what we call the initiative. Always having a move in hand, and if you can do it with threat, it's even better. And this seems like, although I don't see a clear win for black, it does seem like there is.
No, I don't think black is winning, off the bat, but black is an active game, and
there's pressures
and has pressure, exactly.
And that's a good move. I think it's a good move because you cripple the queen side, the king side, and then it's like there's no advantage on the king side pawns wise. So you really only have the queen side majority, and playing with a rook against 2 pieces.
Yeah, the question is what happens after knight d2, and that one possibility is bishop takes f2 check.
And also knight d4 is in the air.
Well, then knight takes e4. I'm looking at.
You're right.
Knight d2.
Right.
Right away. The bishop could go back to g6, or else even bishop takes f2 check, maybe.
That does look plausible. Is it winning? And
I'm not going to say if it's winning or not.
I know, but
I'm just looking at random moves. I'm looking at random moves. I think black. The chances are here with black. So, yeah.
And Eric Lee is putting.
Ouch.
an absolute clinic on.
And
And
much rather be
just
black.
it's an interesting story I have here. I think it's Ninja Trick. It's Rohan, right?
Yeah.
And he was 2 out of 2, and I guess he was on another tab and did not came back probably when it was pairing. So the system said that okay, he's not active on his tournament tab and didn't pair him. So he's automatically got a 0 point for this round. He's still in the tournament, but he got a 0 point. So there's nothing I can do at this point. And so
Yeah. So, and it's actually happened to me where I finished a game and then something happened. And I just happened to log out real quick, but then the round started, but because it showed I was logged out.
And just a reminder
So
that
being logged in is good.
Yes.
Yeah, and not only being logged in, but being active on the tournament tab, tournament page when it's about to pair. Because if you're not active there, the system thinks that you are just taking a 0 point buy, which is not what you want. And
That's a learning curve.
unfortunately, it's a reminder for everyone. There's not a real TD function in these tournaments. Like I can try to assist people and accept requests and try to help, but I cannot redo pairings. I cannot put anyone into the tournament. On that round, once the round has started, I can't do any rating and any standing adjustments. So it's kind of frustrating for a TD to have their hands tied as well, but
And actually that's a good point for players to know that they may not be aware of is we don't actually have the ability to kind of, go back and redo pairings and make adjustments. We can send in requests and what have you, but like in the moment live, it's, if you log out and you weren't paired, there's no recourse.
Good to know. Paul, I was thinking at back in the position where they had bishop e4 and knight d2.
Yeah.
What about just bishop takes g2?
Yes, I know. There was some things to look at there for sure.
Eric Lee did win his
game. I agree.
Yeah, I think there's been a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing a position there where black has more dynamic possibilities. So there.
Yeah, I was disappointed to see bishop g3.
Whether they'll be discovered or not in the rapid format is always
When you have the 2 rooks versus rook and pieces, do you want to take the rooks off the board or do you want to keep them on the board?
I think it's White's still going to maybe find it a little easier with the pair of rooks off the board. Yeah, and so black so if not now bishop d4, and if White tries c3, bishop f2 check. Oh no, then the rook at d1 is protected.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what black has accomplished with this.
You want to take a look at the Lawrence game because I think we have a bishop versus knight learning situation.
Oh, it looks to me like White's getting yeah. So this should be, this is some kind of Capablanca textbook win for White for sure.
Absolutely,
I suppose.
If you're Capablanca.
Yeah.
Or we also have Barbara Goodkind against Christian Clemens.
Wow.
In a position that I don't see how anybody can win.
Why don't you play before here?
Anybody can win for Christian or for Barbara. This is Barbara's Goodkind. Christian is with White against Barbara, who is black.
Well, Lauren is not doing well here. Oh, look at this. It's almost a very similar situation.
Yeah.
Another winning position for White, I would say. It's interesting that the sisters have gotten themselves into similar predicaments with the black pieces. It's almost, White is putting black under considerable pressure here, it looks to me like.
Absolutely.
But it's
an unnecessary feint.
It's interesting. Well, yeah, maybe G5 is the right idea here for White.
Yeah.
But It's interesting that the positions look similar in a way. That black had the similar bad bishop and in the other sister game. Yeah, just
Well,
pointing that out.
yeah, I think that was a lazy move. I think bishop d7 was not required there, but it's a difficult position for black to play. You have very little maneuverability for your pieces, which puts pressure on you to try to unwind them. And there
I
is
usually
threat.
just smack my head and give up. You know?
So if we go back to Rost's game, now we have arrived at the two bishops versus the rook
Okay,
I see.
with a queen.
I would take the pieces. I can't see the board yet, but
I'll take the player that's winning. Now, I think, again, if I was white, I'd be somewhat happy to have kind of survived some of the tricks
yes,
that were involved earlier.
Yeah, it seems to simplify it.
Yeah, this still looks to me like it's black's game, but there's a chance for white to break out somehow.
well, with the material reduced, there is less threat, and the two bishops were very active and very much threatening all sorts of tactics.
They still are, and I'm not sure that queen f3 was the right move here.
Yeah, because can't you go bishop b2? Yeah, there it is. It seems like now white's in danger of just getting picked off little by little.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if white loses some pawns here on the queen, 2 pawns on the queen side, the game is going to be over. So white should be
loses 2, yes, but why should he lose 2?
Well, because it could be easy to do. I mean,
yes, I agree.
Very easy to do, I think.
And I think the queen f3 was a questionable move.
Yeah, but maybe that position was not so easy for white. I mean, there's no doubt that black had the pressure, even with just the reduced material.
And now white's going to have the pressure of the time pressure on top of it all against the international master.
And I would still like the two bishops, anyways.
If all black has to do is win 1 pawn on the queen side and the game is if white can liquidate both pawns on the queen side, it could very well be a draw. It probably is a draw. But if he can't, then black is going to win.
He's just using a lot of time on this move right here.
So let's see, rook d7. If b5, a5, bishop c3, rook a7, bishop b4, yeah, maybe there's a chance for white to
make it messy.
To make it messy and try. He's got to try something active here.
Well, I don't like that.
Well, there is a pin on the b file if black takes twice.
Correct.
So.
Yes, you're right. So there's no immediate downside to it. But
white's right. If white can just exchange both these queenside pawns, he should be able to draw, I think.
Whoa, that was interesting. He's just taking d7 away.
Yes. Black needs about to get the king up, but that's,
Yeah, that's why the weakened kingside pawn structure is a definite deterrent.
White's only thing white has to find a way to prevent black from winning another pawn, I think.
Well, the h3 pawn is okay. He just defended.
This is very discouraging for white. Discouraging position to play.
It's tough to find moves, right?
Very hard.
Yeah, it's just there's almost no play. You
just got to move.
And now coming up is now already the threat is bishop c4. I mean, this might just have been a technical win for black.
Yeah, if that pawn goes, it's good night, Irene.
And I think it's going because bishop c4, rook a. There might be a little bit of a tactic still left.
He may want to play that first. Yes, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, bishop d4 is nice.
Then there's
I
no
think.
tactics. You know. You
And now
settle
black
down
is
on
threatening to
c5.
pick up this pawn.
Settle down on c5, and then the black has to play defense.
Yeah.
The white rook has to play defense, and
this is a win.
That is
Easy.
I
Yeah.
think
Now.
so.
Again, this is a choice was made by Christian to play this queen f3 move that just it lacked judgment. It lacked correct judgment.
What about bishop d7 here? How do you protect it?
There's no way.
I would have played bishop d7.
Well, then rook a7, and if bishop b5, rook takes f7. Black is trying to have his cake and eat it too.
he's hanging f2 right now. Yeah,
but I'd rather have the passer on the queen side. He's not going anywhere with his king.
Yeah, but white. There's nothing white can do. He's just busted. No matter what he does,
he's trying to not run out of time at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just black is just saying, I'm not going to allow you one single trick at all. That's what he's doing. And
I hear that.
So Omia won the game as well.
Nice win by Rost.
Yeah, Rost. That was a nice technique.
That was very nice technique.
So we can either look at Barbara Goodkind or Nathan, but Nathan just won. So let's go back to Barbara Goodkind's game.
Not Barbara Goodkind, Lauren.
Barbara Goodkind. Eat dinner.
What happened in Lauren's game?
Lauren lost to Omia.
Okay.
She lost.
It's the same thing here. This is over.
Yeah. Is it?
Well, this is, as long as there's two rooks on the board, there might be some hope here.
Ever the optimist.
Hey, check out Stratus Junior's game. That's
okay.
I'm hoping it doesn't end by the time we get there.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if it's over or not.
But okay, so here is Stratus Junior versus Don't Mess With Me.
So Stratus Junior, who's white, is Alan Finkelstein, and Don't Mess With Me is it Shiva Kumar? Yeah, Shashwath Sivakumar.
Okay.
So two Scholastic Junior players that are like 1900 level, 2000 level.
Scary position for white.
Very.
But maybe white's winning. I don't know. Well, the rook is hanging at d1. Yikes.
Where do you move it?
Move it. Move that rook.
Oh, Queen
not to that square.
Queen e4 chair.
Yeah, I don't think there was a good square, actually.
I don't think so either. Now, there is a tactic here that we must be guarded on.
Well, this is completely lost.
It is completely lost, I agree. But there is a small, tiny, teensy little threat on f8, which is of no consequence.
Now, black can maybe just play g5 or h5 or something. Or knight g6. Let the knight join in.
Yeah.
G6 seems like
he's got that h7 square to run away to.
Although knight g6 allows queen c8 and queen takes e6, but yeah, black is going to win this somehow. I think is a good move anyway. If queen c8, king h7, queen e6, black can play queen f2 check, and if nothing else, take the pawn at a2, and that's still winning for black easily. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if black has nothing else, just take that. Yeah. This is.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. Drive him up. Ooh, that's going to be that's harsh. If king g4, queen.
That is it.
Okay, and that was the last game.
Wow, that's
very nicely played. Nice geometric motif there.
I agree.
We have 4 players with perfect scores.
I'm impressed by Stratus's. Or Stratus was white or black there.
Stratus was white.
Yeah, no, whoever had the black.
That was Shashwath Sivakumar.
nice little technique. Having good technique is the
That is him.
hallmark of a
So guess who
star
we?
player.
So on board one, we have Eric Lee playing John Canessa.
Oh, nice.
And John Canessa is about 2,200 player.
Oh,
Oh, he's gotten a lot better recently.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
and his mom, Kate Canessa, is a huge supporter of us, and she's a lot of fun to
yeah.
have in tournaments. And
I
actually,
remember.
yeah, you interviewed her when she came when John played
Yeah.
a tournament there.
That's right. That's right.
He
Yeah,
had
and
a-
John is a freshman now, right?
What was
at
his
Santa-
rating back then?
It was 21 like 80, and he was trying to
Okay.
break 2,200 at the
Yeah.
tournament.
Right. And now he's broken it, right?
I actually don't know. Actually,
I don't know because he's a freshman. I don't think he played a lot
Yeah,
of tournaments.
and if he would have beaten Derek Wu, no, he did beat Derek Wu. He was paired against I want to say it was it Eric Lee? Or he played his final round, or was it Rochelle? He ended up
don't know.
losing that game, so he didn't break it. But I don't know if he subsequently if he did it or not. But this should be a good matchup because John is he's a really, really solid player that can see the tactics. So this should be a good match.
Well, H3 is very bizarre combined with Bishop E2 in this position, and
I don't see why you didn't just play Bishop.
we might have a position that's never been seen before because H3 is such an unusual move there. I mean, I'm sure it's been seen, but usually White doesn't have to worry about being able to play G4 without H3 thrown in.
And-
it seemed like Bishop E2 covered all of the white squares, and H3 was unnecessary.
It's just a standard Nador Shevenigan kind of thing.
So Shashwat Sivakumar, who won that game against Stratus Jr., is playing Ross Sodakov on board 2.
Okay, let's see that.
What is Ross's score?
3 out of 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But Shashwat also has 3 out of 3.
And so does Eric Lee.
Nathan
and
is
John
playing
So his
Omia.
rating is not.
Oh, we have the same opening as against Elliott. Yeah. The same closed white Bishop E3 and Queen D2 against the closed
It is
Sicilian.
the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Now Elliot took on F4, which I didn't understand. It seems.
Well,
to
that's a strategy too. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, it is, but I don't understand it. Why not?
Well, you're letting your bishop at G7 come out, but
True.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know the real finesses of these positions. Both players have to be very careful how they exchange pieces in the center to make sure that they're not left with some horrendous minor piece or something like that.
All right.
So
I
beyond
like this
that,
knight D4.
and
That seems more aggressive than the way Elliot played it too.
Yeah, this is a little sounder, I think. Black can play like pawn F6 here, and sort of just, or pawn F5 maybe.
Well, pawn F5 is in my mind because that's the way I always played against the Kopek system. Is just keep this kind of stuff. Don't let F5 get in, and then White attack you on the king side. But
good game so far. Very principled.
Very principled.
Probably been seen a million times before.
And I prefer this way of playing it than the way Elliot played it, but that's just me. It's a question of taste in many cases.
We have Lauren Goodkind is playing Jonah Bush. That should be an interesting club matchup.
Okay, let's
Really
look at that.
Yeah, sure.
And I have to say I'm partially rooting for Jonah only because I would love to put one of his games in the newsletter because he plays a lot of action games. He plays fighting chess.
And he always complains that you don't put it in.
Well, no, he actually ends up on the losing end of those.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, you told us about it.
Those spectacular ones. So I'm kind of pulling for him.
Grief from him because you only put in his losses.
No, but like he's someone he'll send me a game that he lost and said, "Hey, let me give props to my opponent." And yeah, real gentlemanly play, and he deserves a nice shout out. So give me a game. Give me a game.
Well, if White can take advantage of her momentary lead in development, she might be able to deliver a knockout punch here, but it's got to find something.
Yeah, rather than a knockout, I still think you get some sort of weakness to exploit. That's how you turn an advantage in development into a permanent advantage. And
well, if Black can play Bishop D7 and Rook E8, I don't see that White has anything here.
I agree. I was just looking at that. And so I was trying to think of a way to combat that idea. Now, one thing is you would like to get your knight to E5, but how would you do that?
Yeah, I think this is just White has nothing. Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
well, what if I play?
The only possibility is to play the rook down, but you can't do it. So
you can play
now Bishop D7. Yeah. There's just not enough here for White.
Well, White is not losing here.
No. All right, but this is a bit of a boring game.
Okay. It's an undeveloped game.
Yeah, it's just both players are playing.
You want to check in on Rost's game?
Sure. Yeah, that was a very interesting game. I couldn't predict what was happening, but I loved it.
Okay, so Black is up a pawn. I counted quick.
Did your job.
Let's go back 2 moves.
That temporary.
Good.
Okay, let me go back 2 moves, okay?
Or 3 moves.
No.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah. White can't take that pawn, or he has to throw.
Okay, so is this good?
It looks the same.
So F5 was played.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Back.
Forward.
No. This is where we left.
Okay. Yeah. So then F take E5.
Okay.
D takes E5.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
We can't see those moves yet.
Yeah. Bishop H6 and Bishop B4, and that's where I'll stay a little bit.
Okay. I like this game so far. It's very sharp. Yeah.
Okay, and then knight goes to D1.
Okay.
And F will take
F takes E4.
Yes, and then Bishop takes G7.
Yeah,
because if D takes E4, knight takes F3 check.
Right, you can't take back, but you can do that.
Wow, it's a lot going on.
Wow, this is complicated. So Black can take on F3, but then White can take on E5. Yeah, that's not going to...
And his rating is deceptive because it's 1665, but I know this player is around 1900 strength.
Yeah, well, there's some
isn't Ross too, right? Ross's rating is like 2060, right? But he's more like 2400.
2400, yeah.
Yeah, I think Black might have some problems here, actually, because if he plays King G7, then knight takes E5, and suddenly White's pieces are springing into attack on the king side.
Real quick too.
Yeah, that's probably
what's do it without thought. Yes.
If he took on F3, then Bishop takes E5. So now Black's going to have to play something to F5.
But then G4.
But then no, White takes on E4. Just takes on E4.
Oh yeah.
This looks scary.
But I mean, I'm not calculating variations. I'm just kind of looking 1 move ahead.
That's all you need to, as long as it's the right move.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. Famous last words.
You have to play something to F5. How do you get out of it otherwise? I don't know.
Yeah, but then, again, then White takes on E4 with the pawn attacking what's on F5. That's my thinking right now. So it's very primitive, but it's all that I can do.
Well, it might be enough.
It's like you're using stone knives and bear skins to call this match, huh?
Well, in chess, it's good to use the reptile part of your brain.
It comes in handy. Now, what other alternative do you have, though? Okay, so we're ruling out any blocking on F5 because of D takes.
Well, maybe black should play knight F3 check. That's the kind of move to slow things down.
That just leaves you a pawn down.
Yeah, and then there's the pawn at C5 is hanging too. So, yeah. Black was moving nice and quickly and confidently, thinking that all his moves were hunky-dory, but now it's not looking like that.
No, there's definitely some thinking going on now.
All right, so how about knight E7, F5, D takes E4, maybe queen F6?
Oh,
Just counterattack the knight, maybe, or something. I don't know.
I was looking at king D6, but that's the same idea.
We switch to Eric's game when you can.
Yep. Yeah, let's switch to Eric's game, sure.
So 5 minutes each, or no, 5 and 6 minutes, sorry about that. And Eric is with black here against John Canessa, who's white.
Oh, this looks nasty.
Well, it looks like John Canessa is in trouble here, probably. Yeah.
This looks nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pawn got all the way there, huh?
Yeah, and you can just, black seems to have the initiative as well as a pawn or two pawns. Two pawns.
I mean, where do you put the king?
Yeah, because coming up is rook E8, king F2, rook E8, king E2, rook E8. And king F4 just looks like, stepping into the probably rook E8 anyway. I mean, I think rook E8 is black's next move, no matter what white does, pretty much. And then I don't see white's getting paralyzed here.
Yeah, and what is white to do?
Yeah, rook E8, it's the game over. White can't step out of the pin.
How do you handle that?
Because if king D2, then rook takes E3 and bishop G5.
There it is, rook E8.
Yeah, this is white is lost.
We might be lining up for the match that we were waiting for last week, where I think we might get it this week, unless Eric pulls another one and drops out after winning.
Yep.
Yeah, what was that all about?
We don't know.
Ah, okay.
No, not that, Brooke.
Okay, so John resigned.
Oh, he shouldn't have taken with that rook. He should have taken with the other rook.
It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter.
Go to Ross real quick.
Yeah.
Well, rook takes.
And Eric.
Yeah, the other rook was better, I think.
Rook takes BG5. Rook takes H3.
Eric, you are not allowed to leave, Eric. If you're listening to the broadcast, Eric, you're not allowed to leave. You have to play all 5 rounds.
Oops.
So black took on F5 with, Ooh. That's it. Game over right there. Knight takes it, B8.
All over. But the weeping and wailing.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 unbeatens, Eric Lee and Ross Sodikov.
And I messaged him and chatted him on chess.com that he's not allowed to leave. Well, we hope he's not leaving.
We're closing the cage and putting the lock in.
So this is the last round about to start. Are there any games going on?
No, there's still games going. There's still games going.
A few games going on, yes. So we are looking at Nathan versus Amia. Nathan is with white versus Amia, who's black. We can also go to Michael Walder or Lauren Goodkind.
I don't know what to make of this.
I think white looks like he's winning, but if he can play queen takes b6, but queen b3 maybe.
Queen b3 looks like it attacks the knight.
Yeah.
And
tries to hold on.
But where do you go with your knight? I mean, that knight is doing nothing on h5.
Yeah, I mean, white is white is winning, I think, but black now queen b5. I mean, you have to try to. Black has to do something here. It's just horrible. Black's got to be lost here.
I think I have to agree with that. It's like I don't.
But
see
queen
where-
b5 might be the move here.
Queen b5 looks like it's necessary.
Because if
Can
white's
you do
still
queen d5 check, knight g6,
king h7, and then you're threatening rook d6, or you're hoping that rook d6 works there. Probably maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
I'd play queen e6 and I don't see what you have, and I'm still circling the wagons.
Well, I don't see what black can do. So
yeah, I don't see how black can defend.
Queen b5, then queen d5 check, king moves to h7, and then even queen e6 and knight g6.
Said, yeah, queen e6. And you're just helpless, rather, I meant to say.
White's swarming in, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't see anything terribly conclusive, but the knight g6, knight e7, knight goes wherever it wants, and eventually the house of cards has to fall.
What's the next game?
Well, how about Stephen Katz, knives back against champion PS.
Knight f8 check here, by the way. As well.
And I think both of them are from the Sacramento area, right?
Knight
I know Stephen Katz is.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Christian Clemens, you're right there. What game is this?
This hurts.
Yeah, that's Stephen Katz playing white.
Against Pranav Satish.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I think
he's got
black
the check there.
Is winning.
I think
it's
black
queen
is
g3, rook h1
rook
check.
h1.
Yeah.
King g4.
Well, rook h1 check here, and now rook h4 check, if nothing else. Yeah.
Well, that looks pretty convincing.
Sorry about that. I clicked on.
That's it. Right?
Yeah.
I clicked on Glenn Kaplan's game accidentally. So
Oops, that doesn't look too good either.
Yeah, we're gonna witness his demise.
Yeah. So let's go to.
Future on the king.
Let's see Kevin's son's game. Kevin is playing Defnalchi.
Now he's a strong player, Kevin.
Yeah, and he's getting really strong. I think one of the few players I guess a lot of young players, this lockdown does them good because they can play a lot of chess. And
right.
When he's back over the board, it will be brutal because he's severely underrated over the board right now, I think.
Kevin is just doing great here.
Yeah.
So kudos to my student.
Yeah, so everyone, if you guys want to learn from Paul has a class every Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 8 p.m. 90 minutes class, hour and a half. And how many students do you have? 6 or 7 roughly? Every class?
I don't know how many this week. How many do I have this week so far?
I think we have 7 signed up.
Nice.
So we'll have to see how many actually can make it.
Okay.
But it's a small group, so it's very, very good.
And it's an hour and a half. Good training. Good lesson. Lots
Thank you.
And send in your games, and you can get it analyzed and picked apart.
Yeah, send in your games to the PGN of your game.
And it's $25, only $25 per class, so it's really, really affordable, and you can't even get better comedy out of $25, right?
And we can go to Lauren Goodkind against Jonah Bush.
Yep. Okay.
Getting to the end game.
This looks like a problem out of a puzzle book.
Yeah, it does because, okay, here we go. What's this? White is got fewer pawns. What do
So-
I make of this? Knight
Looks like
C5.
Gosh, it looks very complicated.
Yeah.
Black is the pawn up, and white has some split up pawns. So
And Knight C5 does look like a threat, though.
Black looks a lot better here. Knight
Black is
E6,
No
Knight
question.
E6, or maybe it start attacking.
I don't know what that
Did-
was about.
did something just hang?
Not yet.
No, I
Not
guess not.
yet.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
And this is one of the
pawn
few
C4,
games
Pawn
left.
C4. You're right. You're right. Well, I'm not sure what happened there.
What happened? Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. White looks like he's back in the game,
He or she.
or she. White's back in the game. Yeah, very much so. I think.
Very much.
Although, yeah. Rook check and rook b6.
When you
And
gotta,
black must be far better here, but
Rook
you know,
B6
this-
does look like you can play it because Rook F4 check would be a mistake, it seems to me.
I'm not sure if it is or not. It looks pretty good too, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going
That's-
on here.
That's the safest way to play it, but it's still not very impressive. I don't-
Now black, if black wants to win, he's gonna have to give up the g6 pawn.
Oh, I wouldn't
and-
have done that either.
Oh, rook f6 is a mistake,
Rook
obviously.
F6 was horrible, yeah.
The rook should have checked
Get away
on the
as far as like-
ranks rather than that
Yeah,
way.
go to B6, just get away from the king.
Still, this is probably a draw. I don't-
Well, I mean,
I mean,
his time issues. Oh, he just gave that up.
yeah, I'm not sure. White should just be checking on and then attacking the g6 pawn.
Whoa.
Oh, giving up the a6 pawn.
That looks like it forced draw.
This is now it's dead draw. Yeah.
Well, will Jonah try to play against her time, right? But Lauren seems like she plays pretty quick when she has to.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
And it's not like this is difficult to play.
I would say not. Both players just need to
Well, you never know,
exercise
because-
a little bit of caution here.
Just keep checking.
Okay, and they're offering draws,
Not
which
F6.
was accepted.
Never
So,
F6.
okay, good.
Push it all the way to the edge of the board.
So we still have a few games left in this round.
Let's see them.
Three
yeah,
more
one.
games
Lauren, some weak technique there.
before
You
three
sound
more
like
games
me.
before last round starts. And
Wow, 2 rooks ahead.
Now, that might be more pawns for black, but I think I'd like the pieces.
Two rooks ahead, it should be a sufficient.
That should do it, right?
yeah, they
This
should
should
do
do it.
it, but
The two games that are still left in the round, it's like 2 rooks ahead in both games.
yeah,
that
and the
right?
other one is Barbara Goodkind, right? So
I'm looking for the sack
All right.
of rook in order to deliver mate. I want to be able to do that.
Rook g7.
and
check
it is
would
the
do it
last
probably.
game, so
Yeah. That's what I wanted, babies.
Mate in a couple.
and this will be the last round after this game is finished. Yep.
Queen g7.
Nice.
Check.
That was actually a very impressive win by Nathan because Amia is a higher rated player than him, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
All right, we're here. 2 undefeateds.
okay.
Who are
so
those undefeated?
I
That
don't
is-
know who can be.
Ross?
Right?
Rost and Eric Lee.
Wow.
And I'm gonna just bear with me for a few seconds. I'm gonna pull up a few of the games so I can comfortably switch between them. And
That's
I don't have
fine.
to disturb you guys, and
On-
the opening is not really interesting.
On
anyway,
board
right?
2, we got Nathan Fong against Rohan Rajaram.
Yeah,
Board
Okay.
3, John Canessa against Sricharan Pulela.
yeah.
Omya Vidyarthi against
Some DGT board is on.
Pranav Satish.
And is that Elliot playing Michael Walzer?
That is correct.
Again, right? Oh my God. Just like the past year I've been working for mechanics, I've seen how many times they got paired each other. Like
What has
it's in
happened here?
it's in the air. Like they can't.
It's like two siblings. They shouldn't be paired together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what has happened for White here? White just lost a piece.
Did that happen?
White?
Yeah, is White a piece down here, or the board set up incorrectly?
White is a piece down.
They're oh
Or-
gosh.
Well, let's go to the
So-
opening.
Yes,
see how this
Yeah.
happened.
I want to go through this. So
Yeah,
I'm
Let's
gonna
see
go
how it
to
happened.
It had to be a
E4.
misclick.
More
It
moves
was
that
a
I thought
misclick.
It
was a
Let's see.
misclick.
Let's go back to the
so
beginning.
E4.
Let's see.
I'm lagging behind you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the
E5.
opening until. Yes,
Just
it should be
Okay, French.
right.
C5. No, A6. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You guys-
there you go.
That was a
Bishop
miss.
C4.
It had to be a misclick.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
he wanted what? D4, D3, Bishop
Yeah,
D3.
D3.
Bishop D3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's unfortunate.
Wow. Okay.
No, it's a new move.
It's
theoretic
theory.
novelty.
It's a
It's a new
theory.
move.
Yeah.
And the
Theory.
young- you know, I'm gonna have to hand it to Eric Lee now. If he can fight on from this position,
I'm not interested.
He doesn't quit. Eric does
He's
not
not
quit.
gonna quit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this reminds me of a game I played against Jack Peters where he did something similar. He just, well, it was before the age of misclicks, but
Yeah.
just blundered horribly right in the opening and gave me a pawn, and
hmm
that was the end of that.
Well, just a pawn is wow.
Hey,
Yeah, I played a good game afterwards.
yeah, we don't play pawn
he's
on.
like a
Nice.
genius, right?
Yeah, I just played like a genius after that.
Yeah. Give me a pawn, Paul.
Okay, so this is where we are standing with the game. 12
Well,
move
I
3C.
think Rost will win this. He's a piece ahead.
Yeah, he
And
is thinking
for
now
one
though.
pawn.
And
Right. Well, this
Okay.
kid is no joke. He can blunder a piece and still fight his way back.
Will there be any pressure on his part, knowing that he has this huge advantage and he's going to have to convert, or nah?
no, give me a piece every time. I won't feel any.
You'll take it.
I think he's laughing with glee here. I mean,
E5 threatened.
for example, let's say White plays Queen D2 here. Black could even play Bishop takes E4 and go up a pawn ahead with an advantageous position,
Well, E5
or
is-
something like that. So
Maybe.
there's always the sweet knowledge that you can just return the piece for an advantage if you really had
Right.
to.
Yeah.
You know.
that's always in your pocket. You know. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll give up my piece for two of your pawns, and I'll go into an ending.
And
pawn up.
Rost is just playing very confidently, you know. From what I've seen, it's not like he's badly out of form or something like that. So, you know, I'd say White's chances are slim and none, but we'll see.
You can still play E5. No, maybe not.
There's two links I actually put in the chat for our viewers. One is a newsletter, a link to the newsletter. So those of you who are just joining us for the first time or don't really know mechanics that well, we have a weekly newsletter that Abel and Paul and everyone works really hard on, but mostly Abel. It comes out every Saturday.
Team effort.
Yeah,
Take the credit.
and Grandmaster Nick DeFermian has a column as well, and he's also annotating games.
And just a shout out to Nick, because he's been covering, like Magnus's tournaments and keeping us all informed on the big tournaments in the world and doing annotation of the game. So
Absolutely.
fantastic job.
On top of our online games, selected online games
Correct.
that Abel is sending him, and he also annotates some of our scholastic games, which is,
He
I know
does.
it's fun for the
Every
kids
week.
to see.
Yeah.
So it comes out every Saturday. If you guys are interested, go to chessclub.org and click on the newsletter, or the most recent one is on the chat. So anyone interested in watching that or reading that, that's one link. The other link is our podcast that we were honored to do with Dan Lucas and US Chess. So thank you, Dan, and thank you, US Chess, for featuring Mechanics Institute.
Yeah, that was
And
great.
40 minutes of fun interview, so check out and listen to, and let us know any feedback.
Yeah, if we could have.
Shout out to former Mechanics Institute Chess Club director John Donaldson, who came in second yet again to the Chinese.
Yeah, they tied them in the. They beat them in the tournament, and then they tied them in the final round, but they had more match wins, I think.
Yeah.
But fantastic job by the U.S.
I think it's nice to see that international relations between the United States and China are friendly over the chessboard. I think it's wonderful to see that.
Well, that's absolutely something to be cheered on, because sports in general are a way to bond teams, countries. It's just an interesting fact that we always seem to be able to find something in common, no matter what's going on in the political world, when we play sports. And chess competitions are the same thing. You end up in fierce competition, and then at the end you shake hands. It's like, well, not anymore, I guess, with the virus, but bump elbows. But I'm always impressed by that.
Ross is playing a very nice game here.
Will Eric will Eric be able to shove all his pawns up?
Eric is faced with queen takes e2 check or knight f4, and Ross is just putting him away here. Very nice. Perfect timing.
And he's actually threatening rook c3 too. On top of the knight f4 was the strongest threat. But then everything gets.
Now bishop takes e4 maybe.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Oh.
Maybe.
And white can go g5, but then it's black is.
He did play bishop takes e4.
And this is sort of a result of Eric needing to do something, right? Because of what happened.
Of course.
I mean, but Ross is just too strong a play. G5 can be met by knight h5 probably. Yeah, this is there's no way out here.
No.
B4 is a crushing.
Give someone credit for scrambling around, but in the same token, a player like Ross is not going to be toyed with like this. You cannot hope to.
Bishop c4. I don't think he was toying with him with that move.
No. I think that was obviously a finger slip, mouse slip, whatever. But okay, I'd still play knight f4 here.
Knight f4. Yeah, this is just lost. I mean, there's so many ways.
Oh no, maybe you can play e4 then.
Yeah, and the knight's covered. Might there be an opening for Eric here?
No. Well, no. If knight f4, they can take on e4. So what about with the pawn and the e2 is covered? What about bishop f5 here? And if queen h5, then queen takes e2 check or knight f4. I think bishop f5 is the clean win here.
And if knight takes bishop, what are you saying?
Pawn takes. I just take back.
Yeah.
And if you play queen takes knight, I play knight f4, queen e2 check.
Yep.
Yeah, I think bishop f5 is just the clean move here. I don't see any defense.
It's hard to argue with that.
Yep. Plays it. Go. And you're right, Abel. If queen h5, f takes e4 would have covered e2, and who knows what would happen after that.
It could have been
bishop f5 is just. bishop f5 is sinks Webkin's boat, I think.
Yeah, but you're right, Jim. Kudos for Eric for continuing on and trying to make a fight, because it would be easy to be discouraged, even though it was one of those things that happens to us in online chess. It happened to me just a few days ago in a tournament, actually at Michael F. Pon's birthday bash tournament.
Uh-huh.
I had a mouse slip where I was up significant material, and it just happens.
It does. And there's no use crying about it.
I still cried about it, but I did it privately. Yeah,
yeah, privately.
I cried to Judith. She heard it, but that was it.
What was Ross' score in the last tournament?
It was 4.5 because of the draw in that final round.
Right. So he's improving on his score.
So do we want to check out board number 2, Nathan against Rohan?
Oh.
And know that Rohan is 4 or 3 out of 4, right? Just because he didn't get paired. So
right.
I don't know why Nathan got paired all the way down, because Rohan is number 10 and Nathan is number 4 with 3.5. But I'm guessing they might have played each other or something like that. So
I like white.
Pairing logic. Okay.
So Ross finished in the game.
Finished 5 out of 5. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Ross.
And I love that this has happened for several weeks. We have a clear winner.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the beauty. Whatever the number of players we have, we've had clear winners for a long time.
Well, a score of 5-0 should be a clear win, I think, even in a 60-player field.
Charlotte, who has a 3-0 and didn't win. The Charlotte Chess Club in our match, our 4-way match.
How many players would you need to have in a tournament to have, say 2 perfect 5-0 scores?
Well, I can't
2 to the 5
in my head.
Like 2 to. But 2 to the 5, 2 to the 4 should produce a clear winner, right? So anything after that, it's not, right? If let me count, right?
I don't know. I would think there would be some statistic.
Oh, no, sorry. 2 to the 5 is okay. 2 to the 6 is not. So 2 times n is the round plus 1 is the good magic number that we have to see, right? So 64 is for a 5-round tournament. 64 will can produce a clear winner. Anything above 64 is not. So that's why if you start hitting 80 or something in a 5-round tournament, you want to think about a little bit about accelerated pairing.
Interesting.
Which is a little bit different. They don't pair the whole section as normal Swiss, but they pair the top part together and the bottom part, assuming that they would win. It creates a really funky pairings for the second round, but it does help with the with clear winning.
So Ross is in the chat. He said he acknowledges he knows it was a mouse slip, but he had a personal goal of going 5 out of 5, or he would have offered a draw.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Very nice and very thoughtful.
And I'm sure he would have done it, but perfect score doesn't hurt either.
Right.
And there's nothing shameful winning a game with a mouse slip from the opponent, right?
I mean, that's part of competition. That's part of chess.
Part of online chess, right?
This looks like a winning maneuver for white here.
You see a win?
It looks like a win to me for white here.
White, yeah. If bishop d4, you can just take the rook and
take the rook and
d8.
take the bishop. Yeah.
All right. So
next week we have Natalia coming, hopefully.
Yeah, well, we have to invite her, so
Yeah.
we formally invite Natalia.
Natalia, and
Yeah.
she can replace me because I'm not.
I think all 5 of us can jump in.
Anyway, hopefully
Black fights
Natalia.
on. Bishop c8 is a good move.
It is. It hangs on.
And it hopes for rook b8, bishop takes b8. I
Okay,
guess.
Natalia, we invite you to join the broadcast next week. Please, we would love to have you.
Oh,
Yes.
very clever.
So,
And I'll remember sending you the link. Okay.
Right.
I'll send you the Zoom link and you can join us.
your fans want you. They want to listen to you.
So this is still a crazy position.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have no idea what's happening here.
I think I would have played that.
And now bishop f5. That maybe.
Or rook takes. Rook takes, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Rook takes. Yeah, certainly rook takes. And if rook e7, double question mark, bishop e7, and then threatens rook f8 mate and the rook at d6. So rook f5 looks like it might be quite a good move here. And white's temporarily up a pawn. Ooh.
Well, that was to be understood.
Yeah. It's true. Actually, that's a good practical move by black. Now
it is because the 2 bishops are very nasty.
Rook moves, bishop d5, and then the a6 pawn is lost. Yeah. White has 2 passed pawns.
Still nasty.
I'm not sure about g6 now. It's starting to look, but.
Oh, no, I think it was,
of course,
correct.
This threatens rook h1 check. Black there's been some good moves played here.
Yeah. Run away.
If bishop g2, bishop c4. Is that the end of Little Rico?
Or bishop g5, then bishop c4.
Yeah. Black could find himself in a mating net.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a better try.
Rook h2. Activating that passive rook and not grabbing a pawn right away. Good move.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And now it's a very interesting two pass pawns on each side.
I don't know what to say.
And the white king is more active, and the white pawn at b4 is one step closer to queening.
How about bishop e4 now? Oh, I missed my chance. I think bishop e4 might have been.
I like the way white's king is marching up here.
Yes, yes.
If bishop
always
a2,
in the end, activate your king.
If bishop a2, rook takes a2.
Hey, check out Jonah Bush and Barbara Goodkind's game. That is, and I'm curious to get your take on.
Wow.
I'm rooting for Lauren.
Barbara.
This is Barbara.
Oh.
Lauren already finished, I think. There's only 5 more games left, if I'm counting right. And if my browser is not tricking me.
Okay.
I mean, it's still very tactical, but white is down a piece, and unless he can force a way in, it might not be, I guess white's going to play queen takes b7.
But
because trading queens doesn't look like a good idea.
No, but okay.
Why not go all the way? Now black's going to play knight takes c4.
And that was the response anyways.
But then actually knight c4 is met by rook g6. And if queen...
Oh. But rook f4 now.
Queen d8. And then
But then you
rook
take
f8 and queen takes b6. Yeah, that was a blunder. Rook f8. White
Yeah.
wins the piece
You played
back.
it. You played it.
Wait. I might be able to play queen c3 here, or queen a1.
Yeah, that's true, because then you're hitting the knight. Yeah. No, rook f8. And if bishop f8, queen h7 mate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you have to
Very
play
nice.
queen d8. You have to play
so
queen
it was
d8.
a mistake. It was a mistake.
You have to play queen d8 and then rook f8, queen b6.
Oh,
And
so
white regains the piece.
Yep.
White regains the piece. Very well done.
Yeah.
And she's down on time too.
Yeah. So now black is in trouble probably, unless she
Well,
can
time trouble. Look at
organize
her time.
Yeah, this is the best chance to organize an attack on f2. But white seems that white can cover it with knight f3.
F3.
Yeah, looks pretty
Yeah.
comfortable. And now white's got all kinds of.
Michael Walder did win against Elliot. Wow.
Yeah, that's an old rivalry.
Yeah.
It goes back at least a couple of 100 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Barbara.
Worth
She's like clinging on
Hungary
to
off
that 2 increment.
I think Jonah is comfortably winning this game. This is a nicely played game. It's very technical.
Oh, we forced that trade.
I don't think the trade was right. I mean, it wasn't the easiest way to win.
Wow.
It was not. Clearly
It's
was
probably good enough to win, but it wasn't the easiest way.
Wow.
Yeah, you've
now
got
black can play on for another
Okay,
dozen
so
moves.
it timed out, and then we have the last game is Don't Mess With Me against Atros, and they just finished. So I think we have
that is it, right?
That is it. Yep. And so
wow.
What a great performance.
So
what a grueling tournament.
Exactly.
So Eric, despite the loss and the misclick, takes second on tiebreaks over Michael Walder.
Well deserved, Eric.
Yes.
He's a very strong player.
Too bad about the mouse slip there.
And congratulations, Michael Walder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's his first medal.
Very strong player.
This tournament.
Historically, a very strong player. And
good openings, good tactics. Yeah, I agree.
It's great to see these old
geezers
guys still
speaking as one.
And we ended up having 63 players for the tournament. So fantastic turnout.
Yeah.
Walder to the podium.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations. You know, the old dogs, you know, like John Donaldson says, you know, every dog has his day.
It's one of his favorite expressions.
Yeah. He said it when he got the Botvinnik Award last year, or this year. So great tournament. You know, it lacked the final round drama just because of a misclick, but I have no doubt we're going to see them playing each other again, and it's probably going to be the first of many.
What a great tournament. Thanks, everybody, for making this happen, and for everybody who watched. And
any final thoughts before we sign it off? Just a quick update. It looks like this Saturday we're going to be playing a rematch with Club 64 from Modena, Italy. So So we'll announce, and people can just sign up. So if you're free to play, we'll let you know what time on Saturday, and you just come and join. And then there's
actually, we're gonna have a very busy weekend because on Saturday we are going to play against Italy. I'm hoping it's the same as was the first one. It's noon, which is 9 p.m. their time, right after dinner time for them. And then on Sunday we have invitational club match against White Knights chess team, which is coached by Grandmaster Elson. Can you
Sabina.
pronounce his last name? I can't really.
Elshan M.
Elshon M. From North Carolina. He's fiance of
Sabina.
women grandmaster Sabina Foyser, U.S. Chess champion, U.S. women's chess champion. So that will be Sunday at 4 p.m. We are going to have probably around 18 players each team. So very interesting.
So is that restricted by rating, or is there going to be? Is it an amateur?
Yeah, so that the Sunday one will be restricted by rating because they put together a team of 18 players, and so we are looking for players who are matching roughly their rating. And their rating is anywhere between 1,500 to roughly 2,100. So we're looking for players.
We're looking for 2,300 and 2,400 stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Fill it up and then beat them. No, but fair play, obviously. But have a fair matchup. But the Italian matchup, the Italian club match will be an open. Anyone can sign up. So
yeah,
terrific. You guys are doing a great job.
Even I might sign up.
Yeah.
One of the things I was wondering is it possible to do a Tuesday night marathon online?
It just wouldn't be rated. That's the hard part.
So I mean, you mean to have longer time control and one round each. So the way how we have to do that is to make sure that everyone is friends with each other, and we pair at home on our computer, and we post the pairings, and the players have to challenge each other.
And by friends with each other means members of our online chess club.
Yeah, friends on chess.com. So it's not enough to be a member of the same chess club, but they have to be friends with each other in order to challenge each other. And so they challenge each other, they run the match, and then they have to report back. Unless I want to actually go through every single player's profile.
But I think the biggest obstacle is people won't play if it's not rated, because they're not going to invest the 4 hours.
And to be honest, unfortunately, the longer the time control, the more inviting is for cheating. So there is a reason why the online tournaments are generally not too long.
I don't see the point of cheating when you're not playing a rated game, but that's just me.
You would think, right?
Yeah, but in any case, I just wanted to throw that out there because it's such a long tradition, and I was just hoping that there was some way that we could continue it. But if there are too many complications, and it sounds like there is, we'll just wait until we can do it.
And just for the people watching, Judith and I have been working on some innovations in terms of our online tournaments that we're going to be exploring pretty soon. So with regards to online rated play and possible
prize
funds on tournaments. And we've actually have made an arrangement with someone that has agreed to protect the integrity of the games by screening all the games of our tournament through Fair Play, and it's one of the world's leading experts. So we'll reveal that soon, and we're going to see if it's something that we can offer, and we'll try it out, and then we'll see. But the most important thing Judah and I have been working on is before we go into online rated play, we wanted to make sure that all the games from our tournaments are screened for Fair Play. We think we have a mechanism in place by someone everyone's going to respect, and that the players will have a lot of confidence in. So we think we're there. We just need probably another week to work out all the kinks, but we're excited about it, and we hope the chess community is too. So that's coming.
And then right when you get set to do that, they'll open up the mechanics for.
Yeah. I wish. So wish.
Yeah.
And if they do that, we're going to offer them both.
Just to go back.
Yeah.
But you've cut your teeth on the online side, so you might be able to do both. Yes.
Yeah.
Just more work for you two.
Yeah.
Not just that, I think in some ways you folks have been innovators in the
Yes.
online some of this stuff.
And the other part is the Scholastic one, and we are actually going to, well, if the first tournament that we are going to award trophies is the Scholastic Championship, the San Francisco Scholastic Championship, which is coming up on May 23rd, Saturday. And that's a free tournament for everyone, and we have around 140 right now, so hopefully we'll hit 200. And after that, we will be having regular tournaments, probably once a week, where we will award fancy medals, very, very fancy medals, almost as good as trophies. So I'm working on the design to have a good compromise between awarding something that's as good as trophies, but it's much easier to ship and much faster to get as well for you guys, or for the kids. Not for you guys, for the kids.
I want a trophy.
And I just want to mention something that's in the chat. So Mansour is saying chess.com has best fair play and anti-cheats. They have an excellent fair play and anti-cheat mechanism and detection. And it's worked for us in our club's games. But what they can't do is say, we're going to screen every game in your event for fair play. But we have a way that we're going to be able to do it in partnership with someone. So once we do that, we'll kind of reveal it. And but it's going to be something that the chess community is not going to have any issue whatsoever with.
This is in addition to the chess.com's random screening that
correct.
They do everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And even also when there's a game or there's a player who is a little bit, we want to make sure then we can also report that game for an extra screening by chess.com. So there's a lot of ways we can do that. And if the prize fund will be a little bit higher, eventually, if we are going to go that route, then we'll install the Zoom requirement as well. So only those who are submit themselves to a Zoom meeting screening during the game can be eligible for prize winners. So there's a lot of ways we can still.
And we're gonna do this slowly. We're gonna start off slow. We're gonna see how it works, what it looks like, and try to do it right. But we think we can do it. We think we're looking at it from a lot of the angles, and we're excited to roll it out pretty soon. So stay tuned.
Yep.
And
Keep following the Mechanics Institute.
What Paul said about you guys being innovators, the entire library is starting to do what you have blazed the trail for, and they're starting to have online events as well.
They're doing a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Yes, but there's a lot going on at the Mechanics Library, and the chess room has paved the way. So, hats off.
Yeah, but if anyone wants to, and the good thing about the library event actually, that these are all free now. So even though you might not be a member of the library, you can check out and you can experience their events,
in the Cinema Lit,
which normally would not be free. So this is your chance to get a taste of the library's events and go online. Actually, milibrary.org. And just click on the events, and among the chess tournaments, you will also find all the fun stuff. And just take a look at it, because after that, when you come to play our events, it will be worth it for you to become a member.
And Judith's right on, because like right now, like she said, like we have a Cinema Lit program. You could actually participate on it without being a member of the Institute yet. So you get a taste of kind of what we do, and then support what we do by becoming a member and joining. So, so check it out, milibrary.org. And Judith's already put it on the chat, the events. So, all right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We got FIDE Master Jim Eade, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, Dr. Judith Starre, my partner in crime, and I'm Abel Talamantes. Thanks for joining today, and we'll see what we're broadcasting this weekend. We'll figure that.
Hopefully everyone can tune in for Friday, our social. We're gonna have two very special guests,
Thank you.
very fun guests. We're gonna have the Russians and Armenians. We're gonna have Grandmaster Malik Karchasian.
Kachian.
Yeah, everyone knows Malik. We don't need to pronounce his last name. Everyone knows
It's
Malik.
like Prince and Madonna,
He's
right?
the
Malik.
captain of the women's Olympic team, as well as he's a very prolific coach and very highly esteemed coach. And then we will have Tatev, the penguin, and hopefully she still has purple hair. We'll see. And then hopefully we can have a fun conversation with them because they know very well each other and they always have good stories about Olympics and chess training and chess coaching and just playing.
It's a great idea. Such a great idea, the chess social.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in Friday, and just follow us on the social media, and you'll hear all about our events and what we're broadcasting and when it's happening. And go to the chessclub.org, which is the chess club website for information, and follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitch, follow us everywhere you can. We're doing new things and we're excited about it, and we want to get you excited about it too. So, all right,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Good night.